The Stayner family's story begins in Merced, California, a quiet farming town nestled in the shadow of Yosemite National Park. Delbert and Kay Stayner, hard-working parents, raised their 5 children, Cary, Stephen, and 3 sisters, in a modest home surrounded by almond groves and peach orchards. Life was simple but stable, with the family often spending weekends exploring the natural beauty of Yosemite. Delbert, a stern but loving father, worked long hours to provide for his family. Kay, a devoted mother, kept the household running smoothly. Despite their efforts, the family faced challenges. Delbert's strict parenting style often clashed with the children's need for emotional support, particularly Cary's. Cary, the eldest son, was a quiet, introverted child who found solace in drawing. His cartoons were a hit among his classmates, earning him the title of most creative in high school. But beneath his artistic talent lay a troubled soul. Cary struggled with feelings of inadequacy and isolation, often pulling out his hair compulsively, a condition known as trichotillomania. Stephen, 4 years younger, was the opposite of Cary. Outgoing, cheerful, and full of energy, Stephen was the family's sunshine. He idolized his older brother, often tagging along on Cary's adventures. But the brothers' bond would soon be tested in ways no one could have imagined. It was a cold, sleety afternoon. 7-year-old Stephen was walking home from school on Highway 140 when a white Buick pulled up beside him. Inside were 2 men, Kenneth Parnell, a convicted child molester, and Irvin Murphy, a naive coworker Parnell had manipulated into helping him. Murphy, holding religious tracts, approached Stephen. "Hey, kid," Murphy said, "your mom go to church?" Stephen nodded. "Yeah, sometimes." "Well, I'm collecting donations for the church. Think your mom would give something?" "Sure," Stephen replied. "Great. Hop in, and we'll drive you home." Stephen climbed into the car, unaware of the horror that awaited him. Instead of taking him home, Parnell drove Stephen to a cabin in Cathy's Valley, just a few hundred feet from Stephen's grandfather's home. That first night, Parnell molested Stephen. "Your parents don't want you anymore," Parnell told him. "They gave you to me." For 7 years, Stephen lived as Dennis Gregory Parnell, a name given to him by his captor. Parnell moved Stephen around California, enrolling him in schools and passing him off as his son. "He let me drink, smoke, do whatever I wanted," Stephen later recalled. "But I was trapped. I didn't know how to escape." Despite the horrors, Stephen managed to maintain a semblance of normalcy. He excelled in school and even had a girlfriend, Lori Duke, who knew him as Dennis. "He was funny, kind of spunky," Lori said. "You'd never guess what he was going through." While Stephen was living a nightmare, Cary was left behind, grappling with the disappearance of his younger brother. "Cary was devastated," said Mike Marchese. "He'd go out at night and wish on stars, hoping Stephen would come home." As Cary grew older, his behavior became increasingly erratic. He struggled with relationships, particularly with women, and exhibited disturbing tendencies. "He was kind of creepy," recalled a classmate. "He'd do things like expose himself to girls. It was like he didn't know how to connect with people." By the time Stephen was 14, Parnell began looking for a new victim. On February 14, 1980, Parnell kidnapped 5-year-old Timothy White in Ukiah, California. Stephen watched as Timothy cried for his family. "I couldn't let him go through what I went through," Stephen later told Lori. "I had to do something." On the night of March 1, 1980, while Parnell was at work, Stephen made his move. He took Timothy by the hand and fled the house. "Come on, Timmy," Stephen whispered. "We're getting out of here." The two hitchhiked to Ukiah, California, but when they couldn't find Timothy's home, Stephen took him to a police station. "My name is Stephen Stayner," he told the officers. "I was kidnapped 7 years ago. This is Timothy White. He was taken 2 weeks ago." Stephen's bravery made him a national hero. He returned to Merced to a hero's welcome, appearing on Good Morning America and other national platforms. "It feels great to be home," Stephen told host David Hartman. "But everything's different now." The attention was overwhelming, and Stephen struggled to adjust to life back home. He faced bullying at school and had difficulty reconnecting with his family, particularly Cary, who seemed resentful of the attention Stephen received. Stephen didn't understand the rules, said Ted Rowlands, a journalist who covered the story. He'd been on his own for so long. It was hard for him to fit back in. Stephen married Jody Edmondson in 1985 and had 2 children. He worked with child abduction groups and shared his story to help others. He was proud of who he was, Jody said. He wanted to make a difference. But the trauma of his abduction never fully left him. He struggled with alcohol and had a strained relationship with his father. Tragically, Stephen's life was cut short on September 16, 1989, when he died in a motorcycle accident at the age of 24. While Stephen was trying to rebuild his life, Cary was spiraling into darkness. After high school, Cary felt lost and increasingly isolated. He found solace in Yosemite, where he would retreat to smoke pot and sunbathe naked. Yosemite was his escape, said Jeff Rinneck, an FBI agent who investigated Cary's crimes. But it was also where his darkest impulses took hold. In 1997, Cary took a job as a handyman at Cedar Lodge, just outside Yosemite. It was there that his darkest impulses took hold. In February 1999, Cary brutally murdered 3 women, Carol Sund, her daughter Julie, and their friend Silvina Palazzo, after sexually assaulting the younger women. It was like a switch flipped, Rinneck said. He just snapped. The case shocked the nation and led to one of the largest manhunts in Yosemite's history. Cary was eventually arrested and confessed to the murders, as well as the killing of a park naturalist, Joie Armstrong, later that year. He was sentenced to death and remains on death row. The story of Stephen and Cary Stayners is one of stark contrasts. Stephen, despite enduring unimaginable horror, emerged as a hero who saved another child from a similar fate. His courage and resilience continue to inspire. Stephen was a hero, said Lori Duke. He saved Timothy, and he gave hope to so many families. Cary, on the other hand, became a symbol of evil, his crimes forever tarnishing the reputation of Yosemite. In 2010, a statue honoring Stephen and Timothy White was dedicated in Merced's Applegate Park, a testament to Stephen's bravery and the hope he brought to families of missing children. Cary's legacy, however, is one of infamy, a reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the human soul. Myths and questions that arise. The myth of the perfect family. Some have speculated that the Staynor family's outward appearance of normalcy masked deeper issues. Delbert's strict parenting and Kay's apparent inability to protect her children have led to questions about the family dynamics. Was there more going on behind closed doors that contributed to Cary's descent into darkness? Cary's motives. Cary's transformation from a quiet, artistic teenager to a brutal serial killer has puzzled many. Was his behavior a result of unresolved trauma from Stephen's abduction, or were there other factors at play? Some believe Cary's crimes were a cry for attention, a way to escape Stephen's shadow. Stephen's heroism. While Stephen's bravery in saving Timothy White is widely celebrated, some have questioned whether his actions were entirely selfless. Did Stephen see saving Timothy as a way to reclaim his own lost childhood, or was it purely an act of heroism? The role of Yosemite. Yosemite National Park, a place of natural beauty and serenity, became the backdrop for both Stephen's captivity and Cary's crimes. Some have wondered if the park's isolation and vastness played a role in shaping the brothers' fates. Was Yosemite a sanctuary or a catalyst for their tragedies? The unanswered questions about Parnell. Kenneth Parnell's light sentence for his crimes has led to outrage and speculation. Why was he not charged for the sexual assaults on Stephen and other boys? Some believe there was a cover-up or that Parnell had connections that protected him from harsher punishment. The Staynor family's silence. The Staynor family has largely remained silent about their experiences, leading to speculation about what they might be hiding. Did they know more about Cary's tendencies than they let on? Were there signs that could have prevented his crimes? The curse of the Staynor name. Some have suggested that the Staynor family was cursed, with Stephen's abduction and Cary's crimes representing a tragic pattern. Was there something inherently wrong within the family, or were they simply victims of circumstance? And that's the story of Stephen and Cary Staynor, 2 brothers whose lives took dramatically different paths in the shadow of Yosemite. Stephen, a hero who saved a child from the same horrors he endured, and Cary, whose descent into darkness shocked the world. Their story is a haunting reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the devastating impact of trauma. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, disturbed you, or made you think, consider subscribing for more deep dives into the darkest corners of true crime. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. Stay safe and stay curious. See you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content.